And classic besties break it down on stage.
Come watch us dance on 8-inch platforms.
It is so
thrilling.
ridiculous in the best way.
Romeo and Michelle may be bound for Broadway, but not before Seattle gets it first. Plus, it's like the Super Bowl of flea markets.
Especially fabrics, quilts, great pieces of tableware. We've got a lot of smalls and some big shelves.
We cross the Cascades and hit the jackpot on all things vintage. Then, a steamy space exhibit.
Walking around, they flip through and page 1, 2, 3, all instructions, and then suddenly there's a naked lady.
Refined learns the naked truth about the historic moon landing. Seattle Refined starts now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson, coming to you today from the Inn at the Market. Well, 20 years ago, two of the quirkiest and most endearing best friends ever to grace the silver screen captured our hearts. Oh, and did I mention they invented the Post-it?
Romy, did you lose weight? All I've had to eat for the past 6 days are gummy bears, jelly beans, and candy corn.
God, I wish I had your discipline.
Anyone who went to high school can relate to the 1997's cult hit Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion. The classic one-liners, flamboyant outfits, and Cyndi Lauper interpretive dance number made the movie epic. But you know what was missing? Singing. But now a new stage adaptation is changing all of that, and it's making its world premiere at Seattle's Fifth Avenue Theater.
We're changing the world, changing the world. One night, one outfit at a time.
The girls are larger than life anyway, so it's perfect for a theater like this. And we've fallen in love with Seattle. I mean, the town is just the best. We're having a great time.
Courtney Wolfson and Stephanie Wall step into 8-inch platform heels as Romy and Michelle, taking on hilarious roles originated by Lisa Kudrow and Mira Sorvino.
We are not the ones who got fat.
We're pregnant, you have weight.
Getting to play Michelle, especially such a famous actress as Lisa Kudrow, who the role is so iconic. It's been a treat to channel Lisa Kudrow's performance without copying, and
Definitely.
same with Courtney
A really
playing
fun
Mira, yeah.
challenge for both of us, I think.
You'll never know until you try it on.
Michelle is definitely the yin to Romy's yang. I mean, Michelle is kind of the feminine, where Romy kind of represents a little bit more of the masculine, and they definitely balance each other out.
As the story goes, the girls are excited about their 10-year high school reunion at first, but quickly realize they might not make a good impression. So they show up in an expensive car wearing suits and pretend to be uber-successful businesswomen who invented the Post-it.
Mayhem ensues, and it's very funny, and the music is fantastic. It's by the composers who do all the music for Orange is the New Black. So music is very kind of rock and roll cool.
Turning it into a musical has been amazing because in watching the movie growing up, I've always felt like you could break out into song at any moment watching it.
Yeah.
And Robin Schiff, who wrote the screenplay, also wrote the book for a musical. So it stays so true to all of the lines and laughter and everything. The whole genre is so perfect.
We're changing the world, changing the world.
Both Courtney and Stephanie say if you're a fan of the movie, you're going to love the musical. And they both have high hopes this premiere will launch them to Broadway.
The buzz for New Yorkers, and you can probably speak to this in Los Angeles, but when you find out a show's doing an out-of-town tryout in Seattle, it's like
Everybody wants to do it.
6 thumbs up. Everyone's very excited because so many amazing productions have gone to Broadway after opening here. We have kind of an inside joke in rehearsal that there's another character that the audience hasn't met yet, and it's the shoes.
The costumes and the shoes.
All of the shoes have their own personality.
Come watch us dance on 8-inch platforms.
It is so
thrilling.
ridiculous in the best way.
Romy and Michelle's high school reunion is on stage at Fifth Avenue Theater now through July 2nd. For ticket information, just head to our website, seattlerefined.com.
The curtain is about to drop for the final time on one of the most innovative and danceable musicals to hit Seattle in recent memory.
Here Lies Love, the paparetta about the rise and fall of former Philippine First Lady Imelda Marcos, will close on June 18th. The show transforms the Seattle rep into a disco. Now, everyone I know who has seen it has given it a big thumbs up. For ticket information, check out our website.
We know the Northwest is a hotbed for theater, but it's also at the center of a craft boom. Vintage and handmade goods are all the rage on websites like Etsy.com. But if you'd like a more hands-on experience, we found a craft fair that looks like Etsy on steroids. We're not kidding. Refine's Malia Karlinski has the story from Spokane.
About 15,000 folks flock to the Farm Chicks Vintage and Handmade Fair in Spokane each year. Whether you're looking for furniture and fixtures, antiques and collectibles, or fabrics and notions, you can find just about everything here, including the kitchen sink. Serena Thompson started Farm Chicks 15 years ago.
Tell me, what is a farm chick?
A farm chick is someone who loves her family, who loves creating a beautiful home, and she loves combining the old with the new and making everything that surrounds her her own style.
It's all about celebrating your personal style and feathering your nest with it. Brandon Kay is a seller and one half of the Junk Hunks. They handcraft just about everything in their booth.
I love anything reclaimed, anything to do with trash, anything that's a little bit unique and different, anything that I can kind of put together and fasten and make into a creation.
What's the difference between junk, trash, and cool junk?
Yeah, I think the difference is just the vision that you have for something.
Okay, Brandon, tell us about this birdhouse.
Yeah, so one of my favorite things to do is to reclaim old, unused items that I find in the trash can easily become the entryways to the birdhouses.
This looks like part of a lighting
It
fixture.
is part of a lighting fixture, an old canning lid, an old frame.
Okay.
So
Is it ever too rusty and musty for you?
not for me.
Not for
I
you.
love rust, and the more rust, the better.
Rust is always in at Straight from the Farm.
Tell me about your aesthetic here, because it looks like authentic things from the farm.
It literally is. Some of this has just barely been dragged out of a barn and had the chicken feathers hosed off of it.
Okay, what is this?
It's actually a hog feeder.
So you actually use this to feed hogs?
Yep, absolutely. You pour the grain in the back and they just feed right out of the front. And actually, I would use it for a planter.
It's actually very cool.
Also very cool, these ottomans. They're made from grape harvest boxes and recycled metal. Plus, they're multi-use.
Ottoman, coffee table, chair height seating, so it can slide up to a table for extra seating when company comes over. And you've got your storage all in one.
And you can switch out the top, made from vintage cloth. Fresh uses for old things is what brings many shoppers here.
This is a vintage water ski.
What are you going to do with one vintage water ski?
Well, we're going to buy a bunch of them and build a fence.
Others are searching for specific things.
Okay, what's in your bag here today?
Well, I got pink Melmac, whoops, to go with my other pink Melmac. I got this gym basket to go for my magazines, and then I got this.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
By number vintage. Yes, yes. I got it because my bathroom is full of them. So I'm going to fill these in with the little ones.
Do you feel like you scored when you find a treasure like that?
Oh, absolutely. Just being here is a score.
Malia Karlinski, Seattle Refined.
There was so much going on at the Farm Chick Show that we could not fit all of it into today's show. Tomorrow, Malia tracks more of the hottest trends from this amazing event. Seattle Refined is just getting started.
I was strolling on the moon one day in a merry month of December.
A moonwalk down memory lane, where you can geek out on some of the coolest space stuff on the planet. Then a summer porch makeover.
Open your eyes.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
How to turn your space from drab to fab. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. It was 50 years ago that the world transitioned from the jet age to the space age when the Soviets launched Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite.
It ignited an intense competition between the U.S. and its Cold War rival known as the space race. As Refined's John Prentice shows us, some of the fascinating relics from NASA's glory days are now on display here in Seattle.
We set sail on this new scene because there is new knowledge to be gained and new rights to be won, and they must be won and used for the progress of all people. We choose to go to the moon.
A new exhibit has landed at Seattle's Museum of Flight, Apollo, chronicling the NASA space flights that took U.S. astronauts on an unforgettable journey, with the world watching.
The time when Neil Armstrong first set on the moon, I was in San Diego, and I watched it on television at my uncle's house.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Going to the moon was one of the most tremendous human and technological endeavors in all of history. If you think about what are people going to remember 10,000 years from now, it's not going to be who won which presidential election. It's not going to be who won the Super Bowl. What they will remember about our time 10,000 years from now, it's when humans first left the Earth and into space and onto the moon. That's what this is all about.
I was strolling on the moon one day in a merry, merry month of December. Now, May.
The moon is more than 200,000 miles away, so to get there, you need a ride with a lot of horsepower.
Okay, so we are standing here in front of two of the big stars of our brand new Apollo exhibit. Rocketdyne F1 engines, which were part of the Saturn V moon rockets that launched us to the moon. To my right is what is considered our before engine, but to my left is what these engines look like after they have launched an Apollo mission, crashed back down into the Atlantic Ocean, and spent 4 decades on the bottom of the seafloor.
Jeff says this is the only used Apollo rocket engine on display in the world, and it's joined by a bunch of other super cool, super rare space stuff, like a pristine Apollo command module, original mission control consoles, and possibly the most exciting government issue instruction manual ever.
We have here Pete Conrad's cuff checklist that he took with him to the moon on Apollo 12. Now, officially, these were to help keep the astronauts on task while they were out walking on the moon. But in the case of the Apollo 12 mission, some of the other astronauts decided to play a little joke. They actually slipped a few images of Playboy Playmates into the cuff checklist, and the astronauts didn't discover them until they were out on the surface of the moon, walking around. They flip through, and page 1, 2, 3, all instructions, and then suddenly there's a naked lady.
There's spacesuits, a real moon rock, and my personal favorite.
We are standing in front of an engineering model of the lunar rover. That's the moon buggy that the astronauts took on the final 3 Apollo missions, 15, 16, and 17. And it was actually built right here, south of Seattle in Kent, Washington, at Boeing Space Center. It is the ultimate moon driving experience.
Probably the only one, right?
Yeah. And they're actually still up there, so if you can get there and they left the keys in the ignition, then maybe they're still operational?
That sounds like a plan to me.
Right. John Prentice, Seattle Refined.
Good news, the Apollo exhibit is now part of the Museum of Flight's permanent collection and is included in the price of admission. Coming up, who knew camping could be a showstopper? The retro RVs that you'll see on the road this summer. We'll be right back. Here at Seattle Refined, we never get tired of hearing from you. Like us on Facebook, tweet us your story ideas, or shoot us an email telling us what you want to see on the show. You can find our inbox at hello@seattlerefined.com.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Gard Swanson. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a bit of a DIY fanatic. That's why when we launched our Seattle's Ugliest Porch contest, I couldn't wait to see the before and after.
Dozens of entries flooded in from homeowners with serious porch problems. Our viewers voted and finally settled on the worst of the worst. We sent Seattle Refined's DIY gal, Malia Karlinski, out to Tukwila, where she met our winner, Nancy.
Okay, Nancy, what makes this the ugliest porch in Seattle?
Well, just look at it. It's lifeless. There's nothing that grows. I would love to see some green and some beautiful flowers, and I would love to have a seating area that I could be proud to have my friends over, and I don't know what to do.
How did you feel when you found out that you won?
Mixed emotions, so excited, yay, I won the contest. I'm going to have you come out and design for me. And then, oh my God, I've got the ugliest porch in Seattle. Wow. Okay, let's do this.
So, with wish list in hand, we headed to Lowe's to confab with the experts. Jim, you're a manager here at Lowe's.
Yes.
We are looking to make Nancy's porch welcoming and friendly.
Well, we have a perfect setup for a person that's looking to redo their porch. We have a rocking chair that a person can enjoy the cool breeze evenings, you know, with a glass of their favorite beverage. We have also some different kinds of patio furniture with some decor pillows.
finally, our last stop. We tapped Lowe's plant guru, Rick, for some advice on what does well on a shady porch.
And what about these grasses over here? Are these an
just
option?
So easy, upward texture, easy to plant, easy to maintain, does not require any attention, does not make a mess.
With our shopping trip complete, it was time to get back to Nancy's house and roll up our sleeves.
All right, there you go. Perfect. Awesome.
Finally, the moment of truth. It was time to show Nancy her new and improved porch. Hello! We've got a new porch to show you. All right, Nancy, cover your eyes. No sneak peeks. Open your eyes.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. Look at all that color.
Starting here, we've got a plant to add some color.
And it'll grow in the shade and in the sun?
Both.
Awesome.
We pick some things that require little or no water.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So what do you think of this bistro set?
It's amazing. It's so inviting. I can't wait to have my neighbors over. It's no longer lifeless in Seattle. It has beauty, it has life, it has color. When I look out over my yard now, it looks fabulous.
You can learn more about Malia's porch makeover on the Refine website, and a shout out to our friends at Lowe's for helping make it all happen. We'll be right back, but first, the Tech Tango tip of the week.
David asked, what is the best way to send or share large files? If you have files, such as a video, that are too large to send via email and you don't want it to take up space on your cloud drive, try transferring the file using the free online tool WeTransfer. It is simple, fast, and convenient. From WeTransfer.com, select your file and enter your email address. Click Transfer. The recipient receives an email notice with a download link. The recipient can download the file anytime within 7 days. It is that simple. Transferring files up to 2 gigabytes is free. The Pro version allows you to transfer files up to 20 gigs for a small fee. I'm Francie Black with your Tech Tip Today. For more great tips, visit techtangotoday.com.
Welcome back to Refined. Well, you know what? It's that time of year when families are packing up their sleeping bags and heading out to the woods to enjoy the beauty of the Northwest wilderness. But as Refined's Theron Zahn discovered, some folks are going the extra mile and hitting campsites in retro style.
It's an American tradition around almost as long as there have been cars. A little home to tow behind. And now vintage trailers are back in a big way with people like Shelley Preco. Her vintage trailer is nearly 50 years old.
The thing that I enjoy is the Seattle World's Fair and some of the memorabilia from that, and so this is Jet City Blue.
But what if you want all the charm of yesteryear, but not all the work of restoring the past?
Wow, what a cute little door.
Thank you.
This is like going back in time.
Mm-hmm.
You call Jane Baracella at Relic Custom Trailers in South Prairie. She makes these trailers called Relics. If they look vintage, they are. In a way, the design was born back in 1960, but the company that was gearing up to make them went bust. 50 years later, the equipment to manufacture the trailers came up for sale back east, and Jane snapped it up.
We have all the equipment to make these trailers, so we make them brand new and they look exactly like this original one.
But the Relics she makes are built to today's safety standards. And all the workmanship is by hand. When people see a Relic on the road, they love everything from the bright throwback colors to the tail fins on the back.
They comment that it's like just out of the Jetsons, which it totally looks like that.
Jane says she can't make Relics fast enough for demand. Customers wanting an RV that is more than just another big white box.
It's hard to make memories in a cookie cutter RV. So when you think back, oh, my grandpa had one with a turquoise stove or a pink sink, or, you know, it's just so much character packed into these vintage trailers.
And a way to give your family the same cherished memories you made with the people you love most. Theron Zahn, Seattle Refined.
All right, that'll do it for today's show. I'm Gart Swanson. We'll see you next time right here on Seattle Refined.